Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. XRP right now trading at about 66 cents. Again, guys, not too much movement in the space. I have it up here on the daily. If I bring it on the 1 hour, we can see the slow grind up just continues, making higher lows, and hopefully we are going to see higher highs up here. So XRP back on June 29th did hit about 73 cents. This is the, short-term high that we have to get above. Okay, essentially, if we can get above these levels here and close above that consistently, that will make for a bullish case. That, of course, is the 80-cent price level. But for now, the slow grind up, and for the longer term, we are looking to get above $1.96, give or take. That is the most recent inter-year high we have seen for XRP. Now, if I bring up Bitcoin, still more of the same as well. Trading sideways right now, Bitcoin trading at about 33,800. So no movement, nothing special happening. A lot of low volume down here. So we're not seeing any exciting high volume either to the upside or to the downside. Just kind of trading in this sideways pattern until, buyers and sellers go out of balance. And that equilibrium either brings us up, most likely case, this is what I think, or down, less likely case. There still is a lot of evidence pointing to the fact that Bitcoin is going to reach new all-time highs. And this is just one of those articles here from XRP Crypto Wolf. I talked about this just the other day, but it looks as though those same fundamentals have stayed consistent through till this article was published yesterday, so Monday the 5th of July. And we're basically seeing centralized crypto trading platforms seeing a sharp decline of Bitcoin supply, and this has been happening over the last 6 months. So Santiment just tweeting this out yesterday. The ratio of Bitcoin supply on exchanges has encouragingly slid down to its lowest since early January. The 6-month low is a promising sign, as it generally will indicate that there is a decreased risk of more major BTC sell-offs. So again, a tweet reported by Santiment just regarding that just points to another bullish case for Bitcoin's momentum continuing to rally. And this, of course, will help altcoins rally as well. So this was in the news, guys, and I'm going to get into this with regards to, what this means for the entire crypto market. Let's start off with this. Michael at Val5 Links posted this. British lender Barclays is preventing its customers from making payments to Binance following a regulatory crackdown on the crypto exchange by the country's Financial Conduct Authority. So this is the first that we've seen of its kind, and, is this going to have a snowball effect on other major banks around the world? Well, Barclays Bank blocks customers' payments to Binance. British lender Barclays is preventing its customers from making crypto payments, as I had mentioned. So here are some facts. The bank said the move would not impact customers' ability to withdraw funds from Binance, and it would continue to alert customers that payments had been blocked until further notice, according to tweets from customers. Late last month, the regulator announced Binance Markets Limited is not currently permitted to undertake any regulated activities without the prior written consent of the FCA. It also stated that by the close of business on June 30th, the world's largest crypto exchange would be compelled to display on its website and social media outlets a message stating clearly that it is not permitted to undertake any regulatory activity in the UK. So customers in the UK have still been able to access the exchange through Binance.com. However, BML is a separate legal entity and does not offer any products or services via the Binance.com website. This was coming from a Binance spokesperson. The Binance Group acquired BML in May of 2020 and has not yet launched its UK business or used its FCA regulatory permissions. Binance has faced similar regulatory pressure around the world in recent months, and I just reported on this the other day in Ontario, Canada. They are also facing the same thing. So, I don't know how this looks. I mean, on the one hand, okay, we get it. Binance cannot conduct business in the UK. But on the other hand, banks, kind of saying where you can or cannot put your money is the issue that I have with this. So XRP Moonboy down here saying, so now banks can tell you where to send your money. You can't buy crypto, but feel free to gamble on betting sites. No limit. If I was a Barclays customer, I would be leaving today 100%. And I think a lot of people in the space are feeling the same. We've got Alexandra Huck here on Twitter saying, and this is a quote, this is to help keep your money safe. This is what Barclays is telling their customers, and this looks like a text message: as you've made a payment to Binance this year, we wanted to let you know that we're stopping payments made by credit/debit cards to them until further notice. This is to help keep your money safe. So, many people here getting very upset about this. Barclays UK Help Twitter handle has said, "Hi there, I hope you're well. We're sad to hear that you're leaving us. It's our responsibility to help protect your money. With this in mind, we've taken the decision to stop payments made by credit/debit cards to Binance until further notice to help keep your money safe." And Alves down here saying, is this even legal? Even if it's under the "to keep your money safe" excuse, are you not the owner of your own money and by default the one that decides what to do with it? Andrea-M3 down here saying, as you've made a payment to Barclays this year, we wanted to let you know, just posting the same thing, wanted to let you know we're stopping payments made to them until further notice. We're sorry for the disruption. So it looks as though this is happening all over the UK. I haven't heard of anybody in Ontario, Canada, who has received similar messages. And yes, guess who's weighed in on this? David Schwartz, the CTO of Ripple, this coming from El Crypto King here on Twitter, posting out this You Today article with regards to a David Schwartz tweet that I just noticed last night. I'm going to go over that in more detail. Just to give you guys the rundown, though, David Schwartz shared his take on this UK banking giant Barclays debacle. The mastermind behind the XRP ledger suggests that financial institutions should be prohibited from arbitrarily refusing transactions without appeal. So here's the tweet from David Schwartz. "We live in a world where banks protect people's money from being sent to the place they're specifically asked to send it, where banks keep your money safe," in quotes, "from going where you want it to go." And down here, he's just retweeting out the same Barclays UK help tweet. He then goes on to say, "Meanwhile, governments have policies to make it very difficult for you to avoid using financial intermediaries whose policies dictate how you can spend your money. The war on cash is about forcing people to use intermediaries with unappealable power over your spending." See, Bleak is down here saying, "It's so true, the bank is not your friend." David Schwartz down here replying, "It's not the bank's fault. They would prefer not to have this responsibility. It's the government that makes them responsible, that forces them to have absurd policies." Russ down here saying, "Barclays started doing this to me in November of last year when I tried to buy crypto on CEX. Bread Garlic House down here saying, "My bank called me about suspicious activity when I purchased off a new exchange. Then they tried to talk me out of buying crypto." This does sound like what I was going through back in 2017. At first, when I was sending my money to the exchange, my bank was flagging my transactions saying, where is this money going? Why is it going here? And then as soon as I told them it was for cryptocurrency, they were really, really resistant at first. And I had to tell them, I go, "Look, this is where I want it to go. Make it happen." I'm your customer. Do this. So it's interesting to see that now we're seeing the same kind of thing, even though we do have this cryptocurrency regulatory clarity. It's looking like it's going to be this system where, there are the trusted players in the space and, they are going through all the regulatory hurdles. And I'm talking about exchanges at this point. And then there are going to be the Binances and all those other small cryptocurrency exchanges that are, eventually going to be either bought out or they're just going to go out of business because they are not going to have that same kind of status as we are going to see with these other players in the space. And so, this is just the beginning, guys. Now, that's not to say that I agree with what Barclays is doing. Of course, this is your money. You should still be able to do what you want with your own money. That is just fundamentally what I believe as your liberties, as your rights. Arturo Portilla weighing in on this. "Wait until you learn about the possibilities that full Panopticon CBDCs will bring to the table. As of today, bank account owners can simply switch their funds to another bank. In the imminent age of CBDCs, you will not be able to switch your funds to another central bank." And he's weighing in on David Schwartz's tweet here. Now, if you guys don't know what this is, the Panopticon that he's talking about, he goes down here and it describes what this is, the Panopticon legacy. "As a work of architecture, the Panopticon allows a watchman to observe occupants without the occupants knowing whether or not they are being watched. As a metaphor, the Panopticon was commandeered in the latter half of the 20th century as a way to trace the surveillance tendencies of disciplinary societies. It is still a useful way to think about surveillance in the age of NSA and GCQH." That was a question. I didn't phrase it as such, but that was a question. "The basic setup of Bentham's Panopticon is this. There is a central tower surrounded by cells. The central tower is the watchman. In the cells are prisoners or workers or children, depending on the use of the building. The tower shines bright light so that the watchman is able to see everyone in the cells. The people in the cells, however, are not able to see the watchman and therefore have to assume that they are always under observation. So Arturo Portilla painting a bit of a bleak dystopian future when it comes to you and your money and, the adoption of CBDCs. Now, is this far-fetched? Is David Schwartz perhaps being a little bit too adamant about his position on this? Well, I personally do not think so. But some of you may think, come on, a surveillance state? That's just ridiculous. Or is it? Guys, I got to bring this to you from DJ Peter Vass. And the BIS, yes, the Bank for International Settlements, has called for CBDCs based on digital identity. So this was taken from a statement from the BIS's website from just a couple of weeks ago. The Bank for International Settlements believes a central bank digital currency, or a CBDC, based on the digital identity scheme would be the most promising design for general use. In a recent report, the BIS said these designs would balance protecting users against the abuse of personal data. So they are framing it in a way to suggest that, if we use these CBDCs based on a digital identity scheme, that is to protect you, the end user. The regulator also forecast that a CBDC based on an identity would protect the whole payment system against money laundering. So more evidence to suggest that there could be a crackdown on cryptocurrency as we know it. And, just to kind of highlight the points that were mentioned in this article, again, from the BIS's own website, bis.org, they are talking about just that, digital identity. From a practical perspective, the BIS says the most promising CBDC design would be one tied to a digital identity, requiring users to identify themselves to access their funds. So you would have to identify yourself via, I don't even know how they're going to begin to do this. I've got some ideas that don't look pretty, but essentially what they are saying is, the days of anonymous cash are over. CBDCs are going to be the future. Of course, for XRP hodlers, that is a double-edged sword. Holding XRP, positive for us and our investments in this new financial framework. We are expecting the price to go up. But the new financial system that is, currently being put in place is looking to be more prohibitive than ever before. These guys are saying, we are looking to prevent hackers from stealing your identification, and you'll need to prove that you are who you are to use your own money. But at the same time, that will restrict a lot of people from doing what they want to do when they want to do it. So to David Schwartz's point here, this is just the first step. Banks, to protect people's money from being sent to the place they specifically asked to send it. Is this a strong arm tactic? I know that, this is a bit of a different context here. Barclays is saying, look, Binance is not legal. For all intents and purposes, or will not be by a certain date. And therefore, we are not going to allow you to send payments to Binance. I can see both sides of the coin. I do agree with David Schwartz, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Like the video, guys. Please like the videos and comment down below. I always love to hear what you guys have to say. See you in the next one, guys.